We are Steve and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show. Land Academy is the place for the education, tools, and support you need to start or grow your land investment business.
Today, Jill and I are talking about how to build a land business that actually gives you freedom. I love this topic. Here's why. You know, you've all heard of people buying companies, little ones, and then they bought themselves a job for the rest of their lives. Or, you know, that's the whole point here is to get complete control of your time and hopefully a bunch of dough to go with it.
You know, it's funny. I thought I took freedom a little bit different. And
What?
We'll talk about it.
How else could you define freedom?
Hold on a moment. There are other ways to define freedom. Like, not only like financially and time-wise, but I thought about just to be anywhere you want and to kind of create your own schedule, kind of thing. So we'll get to that. I have more than three things. I have notes. So I will happily share.
Excellent. How do you like not being in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, Jill?
You know, it's a little weird right now. There were times in the last, we just came, well, shucks, June, July, August, September. I don't know, 3-4 months. We spent most of it floating. And right now we're back at our home base.
I ask because that's freedom.
It is. We'll get to that. Just
Will
a
we?
moment. But if you've ever done a live aboard situation, you know what I'm talking about. In the beginning, you feel like, you know, everything's moving. You're in the grocery store and it's not moving, but you think it's moving.
Jill and I bought a sailboat about 6 months ago, got it all provisioned out, and so we've been using it.
Yeah. So then now we're on land right now, and I don't feel like I'm moving. I'm okay with it. Now I finally got my land legs. You know, you have to get your land legs back. And so anyway.
Thanks to Starlink, we didn't miss a beat.
No, we'll talk about that. It's really good.
Let's get into it now then. How to build a land business that actually gives you freedom.
Okay. So I have 3 main points, and then I'll tell you my points, and then I'm going to go into detail on all of them. So number 1, we did that. You have 2 working examples that did it. And like we talked about with the boat, we'll share a little bit more about, you know, what got us here and how long we've been doing it. So number 2, I'm going to talk about goals. If you want to do that, whatever it is, you have to have goals. And then number 3, you have to create a plan to achieve those goals. It's one thing to have the goals, but you really need to have a plan to show, all right, if I do this and this and this, pretty much time-wise, that's a lot of it, then you can do that. So let's talk a little bit more about number 1, you know, having a land business that gives you freedom. You know, when I say we did that, that's us, whether we're here, whether we're floating, whether we're driving around the country in an RV, whether we're, you know, traveling to another part of the world. You know, we've done all these things in the 30-something years that you've been full-time at this, and the over 16 years I've been doing it with you. We have proven that. We have been in other countries, logged in. We've been in Paris. Gosh, back in the day, that was how many years? Over 10 years ago, I can distinctly remember logging in from Paris, looking at our listings posted by our staff, being just as mad as if I was at home in the office because they still looked poopy, and reporting back to them, you know, please update these photos, please fix this, move that, you know, whatever. I'm joking about the being mad, but I could do it all. We could sell things just like we did. Freedom, I think, for you and I, or at least for me, I'm going to say, was not being tied to an office. That was huge for me. And that comes into it kind of goes into the plan part of it, and I'll cover it more, but being able to work from anywhere, whether it's a boat or an RV or another country, another state, is because you helped set us up to be able to do deals. We picked deals. You started us out with that, which is our goal is to do deals that are not around the corner, that don't require our attention. I don't have to show up and let anybody in. I don't have to oversee a contractor. And that, to me, has been freedom.
Step one in all this is to ask yourself very sincerely if this is what you want. You know, we've all met people who think they want it, they start down that path and they get it. And the fact is they don't want that. They can't manage effectively all the controlling their own time. You know, they need to go to work to be productive.
Some people do that. That's true.
And I think most people are like that. They just don't think that. They don't know until they're in a situation where here's a blank slate. This is your calendar. For the next 4 months, you're going to learn how to buy and sell land, at which time that 4-month period is over. And you've designed this. You've designed when you're going to work on certain segments of building out your career. And at the end of the 4-month period, you're going to have a mailer in the mail and getting ready to take phone calls on people that want to sell their land or don't want to sell it, and creating real estate deals for yourself. And in the course of that, creating some serious equity. So everybody says, yes, that's what I want. But when you sit down and stare at that blank calendar, and then you get up the first few mornings and you got complete and total control over your time, as if every day were Saturday, it's a different story.
Are you saying like they don't have the self-control or the discipline?
Or just, yes, okay. Or just the sheer will. Like, I really, like, this is my spot. You know, I've known this about myself since, I started cutting lawns at 13 or 14 years old, that I wanted to control my time. I had a job at a restaurant at the time, just using myself as an example. I couldn't stand it. It was a good job. For my age, I was making a ton of money. I loved the people I was working with, even my boss. I still didn't want to go back in there.
Isn't that funny? We have a kid that really says they want control of their time, but they suck at it.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything without, but if they have a shift, they have to be there at this time, and then they're done at this time, and someone's telling them what to do the whole time. They are awesome at it.
So I think you're describing probably 90% of the people in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
They say they want it, but they don't know how to do it. Or they just don't have the energy to do it?
I don't know. If you asked them, they probably would say, I don't know where to start. But this is where to start. A podcast like this. The place to start is right in the mirror. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Jill. You had a hardcore corporate job for what? 18 years, did you?
I hated it. Yeah.
So
talk about a time. I had a time card. Literally back in the day, there was like punch. It was awful. And if you were late, I remember I had a job more than like 3 times and you're fired. Just not talking about it.
Wow.
Yeah. It was not flexible at all.
I would have tested that the first week.
Fired me so fast. It's not even funny. Thank God you don't have that. So funny. This is good. Here's what happens when Jill started working with Jack. Jill's like, oh, happy, whatever. He's like, what are you doing? We have this to do. I'll get to it. Just give me some time. And now you're like, no.
No, I mean, the sorry hard truth is, and I like this, but the truth is, you're going to be working 10, 12-hour days until your pipeline's full, until your bank balance is where, on its way to being where you want it to be. And it's a lot more work. But geez, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Even today, if I had to go back and start all over again, I would do the same thing. I'd just get back in 10, 12 hours a day, rebuild up a system, hire some people, raise some capital, and get right back into it.
It's kind of like, I feel like there's a business owner learning curve. And I felt that too. Yeah. I don't remember at what point I felt it. I'm going to say like maybe a year or so in. It took a little time.
Yeah.
But then after the in, you're like, oh, I can do it. I understand what you're saying better, because I had that business owner, I got this, like a wave of comfort came over me. I was never afraid of employees and stuff like that, but I know a lot of people that are deathly afraid of being a business owner, and they're afraid of taxes. They're afraid of all the liabilities. They're afraid of even just having an employee whose livelihood is dependent upon them. that just is crippling to them. I never had that. I always figured that, you know what, we're going to figure this out. Our whole team, if this doesn't work, we'll come up with another plan. Don't you worry. And we're all going to move over here and do this.
That's it. So along those lines, you know, Jill and I bought a 50-foot sailboat. It's very large. And I have a little bit of experience sailing. I grew up sailing in Michigan, and Jill has none. And so, of course, we bought a sailboat that's way out of our comfort zone. And the reason it works is because the second we leave the dock, we don't know what's going to happen. And you just start dealing with it. No matter what it is, you start dealing with it. Fortunately for us, we haven't had any real tragedy happen, but a lot of little things happen that you have to deal with. So you little by little spoonful by spoonful, establish some confidence in yourself that you're going to know how to deal with stuff as it comes up. And so that's exactly what being an entrepreneur or a startup person requires. Some confidence in yourself. And of course, well, how do you get confidence if you just came off of a W-2 job, just got out of the military, or, you know, got out of a bad relationship where it was very, you know, it just didn't work for you. You have to just have some faith in yourself. And you need to, this is super key. You need to allow yourself and cut yourself some slack when you screw a bunch of stuff up. You know, if you're going to hold yourself to the standard that you're supposed to do it right the first time, you're going to be a very sad, disappointed person your entire life. I smash that boat into our dock on a regular basis. And I don't mean smash, but I mean bang around the dock like it's a pinball situation. You know, probably 30% of the time that we go in. Do I like it? No. But if I don't do that, I will never learn the right way. You only can watch so many videos and talk about it, to talk to so many captains before you have to go out there and kind of screw it up. And being an entrepreneur is, you know, you have to have that mentality until you have some confidence, until you're parking the boat right, docking the boat correctly. So what helps me is to not concentrate on, oh, maybe I'm going to screw this up, but concentrate on what it looks like after I've 100 times I've docked the boat. 99 of them went way that I felt like I had some control. And
Where are you now?
I'm probably 40% confident in docking that boat when there's weather. When there's no weather, I'm 98% confident. But there's always weather. There's always something.
True.
And so there's always going to be something. And you're always going to be disappointed if you expect to handle that perfectly or even well. You have to laugh at yourself a lot through this whole entire process, but it helps me.
I cry.
Yeah, Jill, there's a different thing that goes on with Jill, but she still gets to the same place.
True.
What really helps me, and I think it would help you, listener, is to focus on the freedom part of this. So the episode's called How to Build on the Land, Build a Land Business That Actually Gives You Freedom. Put the structure together for yourself. We teach all this stuff in Land Academy. Put the structure together, follow the program. But as you're going through it, don't get upset about how it's being taught or the details or any of that. Focus on the freedom part. After a couple of years of really applying yourself, doing a bunch of deals, and taking things as they come, focus on what's going to happen after that, where, you know, you got X, whatever your budgeted numbers are at, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 or more, or in some cases a lot more, coming in a month where you can enjoy that freedom.
Well, so you're talking like financial freedom, and I understand that. For me, it's freedom, like life freedom. You know, being my own boss, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, within reason, right? So I like what you said about, you know, you have us as examples. And not only do you have us as examples, because we've done it, but you have hundreds of other people in Land Academy every day that are doing it too. So there's going to be something... You know, within Land Academy, you're going to find someone to align with. I'm for sure. There's enough people in here that you're going to go, all right, Jack and Jill, I kind of got it. You guys are a little weird, but I learned a lot from you. Now I'm going to partner up with this person because I like the way they do deals and they have done this, taken it over here. So I think it's great. So like my number 2 thing is, you know, setting the goals. So there's financial goals. And then there's maybe I just want to pay off my whatever goals, still financial. Maybe a lot of it is financial, that's true. Because when you hit these financial goals that afford you to do fill in the blank. My wife can quit her job. My husband can quit his job. We can retire early. We can do such and such. So whatever it is to you, yeah. When you sat down and did the Red, Yellow, Green test, or not the Red, Yellow, Green test, the equity planner, within Land Academy, we have what's called an equity planner that Jack created years ago. We share it with everybody in our group, and it's sitting down and doing these goals, and it's not just annual, not just monthly, weekly, quarterly, annual, but it's like, how much money you really want to make? And this is something that we do in our, real high level mastermind too, career path. Let's all talk about how much you want to make in your lifetime, or having the bank, and you're going to, mic drop it kind of thing. So then you work it backwards. For me, I guess because I have you. Do you think that's why?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I don't put a lot of pressure on myself personally for specific financial goals, because you do that and you set good, healthy, aggressive. It's funny. I got to win. I have a little bit of a, competitive, I got to win thing.
Yeah, I don't have that.
So, but here's what you do. So you set these goals for us as a unit, as a unified front, to which I'm like, well, I'm going to make his goal and then some. That's always been my mindset. Did you know that?
Yeah, you've said that to me in the past a few times.
So I love that. So then I'm going to finish my last point here on this and hand the mic over to you again, which is, so you set the goals. Now you got to create a plan to achieve them, to achieve those goals. Like for me, when we first got together, you said, I want to have a life and a career, whatever we do, that we could do from the back of a boat. I want to be able to do this from anywhere. And I said, okay, that was it. So by your design, I know this. Like I alluded to earlier, we set out to do deals that met those goals. For example, land deals from other states. Great. Doesn't matter if I'm in Arizona. Doesn't matter if I'm in Texas. I might be buying land in Tennessee. Whatever, it works out great. The other thing is deal funding. I fund other people's deals. Doesn't matter where I'm sitting. They're watching it. They're babysitting the deal. I'm just the bank. Ding, ding. That's another. So I'm just giving you, these are 3 examples that we've done so you can think about it when you're doing this for yourself. And then the third one is, if we're doing any kind of a flip or anything that needs somebody's attention to be there and do it, it's not us. We have the boots on the ground doing it for us. We will have trusted people that work, side by side with us. They're going to be right there, with the property, handling whatever it takes. And we're going to be, again, on the back of the boat, available if they need us, and to hand over bank wire instructions when the money's coming in.
Yeah, which is where we are now, and have been for quite some time. You have to sit down with yourself and really think to yourself what freedom means to you. I'll give you a few examples. I'll use myself first. For as long as I can remember, freedom to me, it's all tied to money, because I can deal with filling my time and other projects once the money's there. But for as long as I can remember, it's been accumulate a ton of cash or real estate, anything that's generating money, and then make enough to live on the interest income, or dividend and interest income on the cash, or the rental income if there's any left over on the real estate. Then you are truly free. You're free to start another company. You're free to tell everybody around you you don't want to start another company because you don't care. You're free to buy a sailboat, get a girl, whatever it is. You're free. That's true freedom for me. Think about a guy like Elon Musk. Nobody understands why he still goes to work with his equity. And so he has not achieved whatever that version of freedom is for him. And there's all kinds of examples that you can use. There's a guy I know who owns a restaurant, who owns a successful bar restaurant, very successful. It's small, but it's very successful. And he's doing another restaurant. And he's asked me my advice several times over the last year. What should I do here? How should I deal with this? Because he knows that Jill and I are very money oriented. He knows we're successful. And he's certainly not to our level, but he wants to open this new place. And so I said, great, that's easy. Don't serve any food. Make sure you just get a liquor license, because it's a lot more profitable. People come in, they get drunk, they order more drinks. It's going to be way more profitable. There's no real staff. And he looked at me, and this has happened 4 or 5 times in the last year. And then he looks at me shocked that I'm saying that. And the reason is I found out later, because he needs to express himself as a culinary person, as a designer of dishes and the way a restaurant looks, and just he wants to provide
And the food.
So that's freedom for him. So if he goes to work in that new restaurant, if it works, and some version of it will, because he's so into it, that's his ticket to freedom. That seems to me like a life sentence of working in a restaurant. I don't care if you own it or not.
Yeah.
But so everybody's got a different sense of whatever. But as far as financial freedom goes, I don't know what's more free than having tens of millions of dollars in the bank that's generating interest income, dividend and interest income that's completely secure and FDIC insured. Then you can go do whatever you want. Open a restaurant, watch it fail, laugh about it.
This is a good.
Sink the boat.
We have actually
Sink the
changed
boat.
roles in a little bit. Like, you laugh, I cry. I think it used to be the opposite. I'm like, that's funny. And you'd be crying. Now it's changed. I don't know how that's
Sink the boat,
happened.
buy another one. Who cares?
Oh my gosh.
That's true freedom.
Again,
but that's just me.
If our
So
insurance company could only see us now.
Yeah, we have a saying on the boat. If our insurance company could see us now. What's freedom to you? At this age and everything you know and all of it, just like without thinking about it too much. We're complicating this topic. This is what the whole topic should be. You listener, figure out what freedom is for you. I'm serious. Take a whole day. Take a day off. Figure it out. Write it down, because it will happen.
Freedom to me is getting up and saying, I don't feel like doing this today. I think I'd rather go to Milan.
Jill, how long is that? So you've been free for a long time.
I know. I don't know what's taking me so long. I don't know.
Jill's going to Italy.
Yeah, I am.
Let's see what you, the land community, are working on.
We have an awesome win to share. I believe we've talked about this before, but I'm going to bring it up again because it never gets old. So, longtime member Michelle has a win. She bought a property from a college that had it listed for sale for 4 dumb years. 24 beautiful acres just outside of a town next to a golf course. It was listed for $228. She's like, you know what? I'm offering $85, and they said yes. So she owned it for a whopping 4 months. She sold it for $189. Can you believe that? And the buyer saw it on Facebook Marketplace, and there was no realtor commission on the sell side.
I wonder what Michelle's version of freedom is, because she doesn't need to work at all.
Yeah.
I think she gets a kick out of doing these deals.
I'm going to talk about this for a moment. She had a big goal that started, there was a 7-digit goal for last year, and she hit it. I don't know what her goal is this year in 2025.
I worked with a
woman. I'm guessing
woman.
it's probably double that.
This just crossed my mind. I worked in a healthcare institution, pretty high up in a healthcare institution. And so we were hiring people in the finance area and not in the care area at all. And we were hiring people constantly from all walks of life. And we hired this woman. I think I told this story one time in the distant past on the show. We hired this woman. For whatever reason, of all the people we hired, I still remember her. And there's just something not off, but something unique about her. She demanded that she have a corporate apartment. We wanted to hire her. Like, we really recruited her hard. She had a great experience, and the whole thing turned out great. She needed a corporate apartment, which we had a bunch of, and she wanted access to a corporate car, which after some finagling we did. And so all of us were like, it was a small amount. It was a small amount or token amount compared to how much money she was making from a salary standpoint. And so we did it. And she would show up. She never wore any makeup. She worked like 8 hours to the second. She was that person where it clicked at 5 o'clock. She packed her stuff up and left. And then about 8 months later, she was gone. She turned her resignation in, and that was it. And she did a good job. So I asked another person that worked really close to her, what the hell was that? And she said she had a very specific financial goal. She works, she makes enough money for a certain amount of money. She goes and takes 5 years off, travels around the world, and then comes back and does it again.
I love that.
That's freedom for her.
Yeah, I get it.
So she had some accumulated balance that, you know, and then I'm sure how she traveled around was not like how we do it. I don't think she went and bought Chanel after that was done. After that 8-month period.
Probably not. I'm like, what did she dress well?
No.
No. Okay.
This is long-term care.
Okay.
You get every character in the brilliant people that don't care what they look like.
Okay. That's hilarious. Love it. All right.
Today we have a few questions from you in our online Land Academy Discord community.
Yep. All right. So first one, I think we have 3 questions. So number 1, Stefano asks, how do you handle sellers who keep saying, I need to talk to my spouse, but then they never move forward?
You need to talk to your spouse about, we could do a whole show on this.
Okay.
Why do you need to talk to your spouse about this stuff?
Because they want to still have a spouse. So here's my thing.
Why would you go talk to your spouse about it? I would put the whole deal together, and this is what you would want me to do.
Yeah.
Put the whole deal together, come to you and say, Jill, I got this whole thing all together. You don't have to lift a finger. That property in X, Y, and Z, we're going to get $55,000 for it. Does that work for you?
Here's
and you're
the
going to say
problem.
no way or yes.
I have ruined you because
That's for sure.
because most couples aren't like that. I know a whole lot of my friends that want to be involved every step of the way. They don't want you to go behind their back. They would say that. I'm not kidding. Why didn't you involve me? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you know I wanted to know what you were spending your time on? You should have brought this to me sooner. Seriously, that would happen. So
Well, I know how that would end.
I know. Again, I've ruined you.
I mean, I would do. Wouldn't you do the same thing for me? Put the whole thing together and say it's $55,000
Yes,
bucks.
we're not the normal people, I don't think. So follow me on this one. I want to help Stefano. So there's 1 or 2 things going on. One is that's his way of kicking the can down the road. That person doesn't really want to
That's what I
sell.
think.
So, and that's their way of just saying, oh, I haven't got to it. I haven't got to it. They don't really want to sell. That's just pushing you off until you stop calling them. Or number 2 is they really are afraid of their spouse, which I have dealt with. I've dealt with both. So in situation number 1, you got to get to the bottom and find out.
Yeah, find out where.
What is it? Is it the price? Are you guys still think you're going to build your dream cabin there? What's going on? Kind of thing. And
Make up a different excuse, by the way. Hey, all sellers who are listening to this, make up a different excuse than that.
Okay. So if that's number 1, and when you uncover that, it's either going to happen or you move on. Now it's situation number 2, which is they really do need to talk to their spouse, and there's something going on there. To which it's probably easier for me as a woman, because if it's a man's spouse, bring it. I would love to talk to them. Number 2, if it's a female spouse, I can talk to them all. I can go either way. It's hard if it's a man trying to buy from another man, and the man and the me buyer says, "Put your wife on the phone, please." That's not gonna.
That would be bad.
That's not gonna fly, honey. This strange man named Jack wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Take your time.
I'll be in the garage. That won't fly. But this is again why women, it's easier sometimes. I can go, well, what's going on? Let me talk to her. All right. Hi, Mrs. Smith. My name is Jill. Yes, I know. I've been the crazy woman calling your wife or calling your husband 5 nights in a row. And apparently he's been afraid to ask you this question. He wants to sell the property. I want to buy the property. Does it work for you? Here's where we are. And now and that's all you do it. And now you get to the bottom of that. And probably it's like, heck yes, this sounds great.
Yeah.
I do have some questions, Jill, because I don't know much about you. Can you tell me about your company? Can you tell me about your plans? Can you tell me about how the transaction would go? And that's what will most likely happen and has happened based on experience here. And you answer those questions, and then everybody's happy. You need to do this too. I'm going to bring this up. If you don't, Stefano, when you're talking to a seller and there's 2 people listed, even if there's not 2 people listed, but you uncover that they're married or they have a partner or something like that, or a husband, you need to make sure and ask that question. Is everybody on the same page here? Because it could come back to bite you. Because you don't want to be 3 weeks into escrow and then they go, oh, my wife found out and said I can't sell it. That's on you, bud.
This is a real real common problem with real estate agents.
Yeah.
Put a whole entire residential deal together and find out their spouse had no intentions of moving.
Right.
At all.
Yep.
Let's take another question, Joe.
Okay. Number 2, Karina wrote, when do you recommend switching from smaller deals like $5,000 to $10,000 profit to bigger ones?
Today.
I was going to say that as soon as you came.
Immediately.
You know, I love this. I came up with this a couple years ago at 0. If you're comfortable like buying for $5,000 and buying for $5,000 and selling for $10,000, I know it sounds crazy, but try it. Buy for $50,000, just add 1 0 and sell for $100,000 and watch how comfortable you get really fast. Number 1. And number 2, it's shocking and awesome how much easier those deals are. When someone's scraping together $10,000 because that's all they have, and they really want that property and they need 3 weeks to sell this and come up with that and make sure this clears and get that one more paycheck in, you know, that's a different buyer. There's a lot going on there and a lot that could fall apart versus when you're selling something for $100,000, all they're doing is, I just need to move this money into this bank account and then I'll be able to get the wire done. How's that sound on the 3rd kind of thing? You're like, what just happened?
Bigger deals are a lot easier.
Yeah.
Almost always.
They're professional.
Yep.
They typically do their homework way ahead of time. It's $100,000. By the time they're picking up the phone and calling you, they've done all their legwork. They just may have 1 or 2 last questions for you, and then it's go time.
All kidding aside, bigger deals are just get there. The more money you make, the more you're going to be able to get to freedom.
True.
Final question from our Facebook group.
Yep. Tyler asked, is there a quick way to double check legal access without ordering a full title search?
So there's the pro tip / way that I do it, or we do it, is to pull a plat map. This works in more developed states versus very, very rural counties or rural states. In fact, you know what? I've never run into a county where this hasn't worked. And if the plat map shows dotted lines, which is where the easement has been platted for the roads, you may not be physically there, but the roads have been platted in, then you know you're 99.9% sure it's got legal access. So it all has to do with getting the plat map. If it's a real urban county, you can go online and get it. They're going to have it posted, or it's web
Right,
enabled.
and see it.
Yeah.
Might be able to see,
Yep.
just pull it up and see it.
Right.
Nowadays.
So, but some counties you have to call them and they'll send you one.
Yeah. The other thing is ask the county.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up the phone and call them and ask them. Usually they're knowledgeable. And
The truth is, that's what a title agent that's doing the title policy is doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're sometimes actually physically in the county, pulling those maps and checking. That's what they're looking for, is that plat map. If you see a plat map with just a square on it, it's just somebody literally rewrote the description, the legal description. That property does not have legal access, and it's just a square. If the property is truly square, whatever the shape of it is, you'll pull a plat map and you'll see a square on a piece of paper, or the outline of the lot line.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good question. I like that. Okay, fellow investors, big still announcement. We're so excited. Deal Complete has officially launched. All members are in and using it and loving it. I can't believe the feedback that we've got have been like teeny little tweaks. It is amazing. Our team is awesome, and it is open to the public and available to you. And along with it, to kind of explain more about who we are, what we do, and how Deal Complete can help you. It doesn't matter what kind of land deal or real estate deal. Could be land, could be houses, it could be commercial stuff. Deal Complete will work and help you and save so much time. So the ebook is called The Land Investor's Easy Button: How to Automate Your Deals from Offer to Close. And inside you're going to get exactly how to pull data, how price offers, what we do now using AI to make them even better, and to get a full mailer out the door, not having to learn Excel and spreadsheets, not doing your own scrubbing, and also that takes away a lot of the headaches for many of us. So just head over to dealcomplete.com/ebook and grab your copy today. So that's dealcomplete.com/ebook. And if you like this episode, sorry, I saw red and I thought that was mine on the script, so I'm going to continue it now. Please drop us a comment. And by the way, if you share a win or a question, just like the ones that we answered here today, yours might just be featured on next week's episode.
And join us next week for actually another really interesting episode. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.